Peace. This is the enemy's public, and I'm Bro.Nasir. I was going to do a video yesterday, but I decided not to, dealing with the Amber Guyger situation with the guilty verdict. But I wanted to make sure that that I had all the information, and I also wanted to kill two birds with one stone with the punishment, the sentence. And as everybody knows by now, that Amber Guyger, the former Dallas police officer who walked into Botham Jean's apartment while he was trying to enjoy some Thursday night football and eat some ice cream and smoke a little weed. That's his business. And an intruder came into his home and murdered him. An intruder who was supposed to be someone who protect and serve. Now, I don't subscribe to the protect and serve thing because it was never written for us in the first place. But for the sake of argument, she was supposed to be one who protected and served. And she wasn't concerned with the brother's well-being. She even left him in the apartment and was worrying about herself, about getting in trouble. She called the boyfriend and the police officer who arrived. They were consoling her instead of trying to save the young brother's life. That's the mockery of it all. She was so worried about herself and about getting in trouble that she left him in the apartment and was pacing back and forth, and a sister caught it on camera, a sister who they were harassing, and they blacklisted her and took her credentials from her, the sister Bunny. They took her, basically snatched the sister's life because she did the right thing. Now, Amber Guyger is an outright racist. They had emails that she sent. They had text messages that she sent. They had Pinterest that she sent, that was using racial epithets and racial slurs and just outright hateful text messages and memes and wherever it was. And you name it, she dealt with it in a hatred for black people in that manner. Now, she wanted us to believe that she thought that she was in her own apartment. Now, as a police officer, you are trained to pay attention to detail. You are a trained professional. And I don't buy that she thought she was in her own apartment. I never bought that. That right there is just something I never bought. I never believed that to be true. And anybody who believes that is, just not thinking. They're not thinking. Now, she tried to say she believed she was in her own apartment and that she was scared for her life. I don't buy that. She went there for one reason and one reason only, was to murder our young brother. And she did murder our young brother. And they tried to make him look like the criminal. They had a warrant for a warrant to search his apartment. They searched his apartment and they found marijuana, they found weed. Okay, they tried to assassinate the brother's character and tried to make him look like a villain, but far, far too many people gave testimony as to who this young brother was, black and white. So she had no way to to assassinate this brother's character and defame this brother's name. That's what the police tried to do. I do not trust the police. I have a lot of reasons not to trust police. I'll get into that later, but I do not trust the police. They are an expensive state and federal funded gang. And a lot of our own, and I say this with quotes, brothers and sisters, their aspirations are to be honorary white supremacists. Like the black woman, I'm not going to say sister because no sister of mine would do that was stroking and rubbing Amber Guyger's head. Now, that's a travesty. Now, as a black woman, she's a traitor. She should be ostracized from us. If she was a family member of mine, just like the Texas Ranger, the one who came in there with all that nonsense talking about no crime was committed, they couldn't be family members of mine because I would tell their ass off and tell them straight, stay away from me for the rest of their damn life. How can you look at Botham Jean's mother